Hi guys, and welcome back to a special episode today of Jordan and Susan's Kids in the Kitchen. I thought since everyone has gone global with these bento boxes that mums are doing, and myself are guilty of doing the bento box lunchbox, I thought, what does everyone put in there? A lot of the time people are wowing people with sushi, so I thought, how about we do a special episode on making your own sushi at home? Yes, I know it sounds scary. It does. Sushi. Can I do it? Yes, you can. Follow this easy step-by-step guide on how I'm going to make sushi at home with you. So get your stuff ready, get your rolling mats, get your nori, and we are going to create some Asian fantastic sushis here, and you can even wow that special someone at home. And you're going to wow yourself, because now you're going to say, oh my goodness, I am now a sushi master. So let's make some sushi. Okay guys, so for making this sushi today, we are going to need some sushi rice. I use the non-glutinous sushi rice, so it is gluten-free, this sushi. We're going to need some cucumber and some carrots. I have also got some cooking sake here, or you could use rice wine vinegar, totally up to you. I've got a little bit of sugar here to make the vinaigrette that's going to go in the rice. That I'll help you through that as we go. We've got some nori, aka seaweed sheets, to wrap everything in. I have a towel, because it's going to get sticky. I have salt and pepper, and I also have, for a mayonnaise dressing, avocado. So that's just fresh avocado with salt and pepper that I've just mushed up there. You can also put mayonnaise in it, or add your own mayonnaise. Really, the possibilities and fillings are endless, so you can just think about what you want to make first and then do it. I'm making salmon today, and I'm also going to make, in the oven, I've got some chicken tenders. So I just use the Steggles chicken tenders, so they're just in the oven now. I've got 4, and then I'm going to cut them in strips, and that's what we're going to use as our chicken, and our salmon I have as well. So let's get started. Step 1, let's get started on making this sushi rice. So come with me, let's get the TM5 out and let's make some sushi rice. Okay guys, so now we're about to do our rice. So I use this rice, as I mentioned earlier, it's also gluten-free. So now I'm just going to go to my weekly recipes, because it's saved in here, because it is a staple in my house. I'm always making sushi rices. So just getting on to my recently cooked. Okay, and sushi rice is the top one here. All right, and we're gonna do start. Now, first thing is insert the simmering basket. Now we've inserted already the simmering basket, so next, then we're going to weigh into the simmering basket 500 grams of the sushi rice. So we're going to pop that in there until we reach the 500 grams. So I've got 1.5 bags of sushi, because I knew that that wouldn't be enough. So here's my other bag. Now try not to go over. You really want to stay on that 500 mark. All right, now we're going to add 1,000 G of water. So I'm just using my kettle, so I've already got my filtered water in here. And just go till you get to 1,000. Again, try not to go off course. Try to stay on 1,000 or just shy of. See, I'm just a bit shy of, but that's still all right. 35 is all right. Once you get to like 190, that's when it gets a little bit crazy. So now we're going to insert the measuring cup bowl and lid. And now I'm going to turn this to here for 20 minutes. And we're going to mix that up. And meanwhile, we're going to prepare the rice wine vinegar. Okay guys, so now that we've got our sushi rice cooking, we have 20 minutes to spare. So what we're going to do is, as I said earlier with the sugar that I have 2 teaspoons of sugar in here. I'm going to get a little bit of cooking sake, maybe about 3 teaspoons. You can also use the rice wine vinegar I told you about, but I like the flavour and texture of the cooking sake when it goes into the rice. So there we go. I mean, it's up to you. If the more sticky you want it, add a little bit more. But I think for me, that's plenty. And now I'm just going to stir this until it's all dissolved. Okay, now let that sit for a little while our rice is cooking, and then we'll pour it into the rice once the rice is ready and in this bowl. But until then, let's get ready for the vegetables. We're going to now do the vegetables. So, you can do whatever vegetables you want to do. I'm just going to do the two basic ones, cucumber and carrot, because everyone seems to love those. Sushi is such a versatile food, and you can also wow everyone at a dinner party. I mean, bringing your own sushi to a dinner party or a barbecue, or hosting, you know, your own little party and having this, it's just going to be so fun, and you're just going to feel so good about yourself that you did this, okay, just with a little help from me. So I'm just cutting the cucumber. I want to cut them into strips, not too thin, but not too thick. I know, not too thin, not too thick, right? But you get the feel of what I mean once you're actually cutting it. Because if you cut everything too thick, when it's time to roll out your sushi, everything is going to literally be just too chunky to actually roll the seaweed. So we don't want that. So we just want to make sure everything is a nice size. So we'll just do that again with the cucumber. Again, if you have kids cooking with you, make sure the adults do the cutting, please. We don't want any little hands getting hurt making our sushi. We want a fun time, not a sore time. Okay, so we're just cutting the carrot now into some strips. So you want them to be about that long in thickness and in length, because then we're going to line them up. So, okay, we've got that. Right. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly perfect, as long as you can roll them up well. It might take you a couple of goes until you get it right, but that's okay. Just keep replaying this video over and over again until you get it right. So, yes, that is our veggies cut and done. So now we have that. We've also got, as I said earlier, our beautiful avocado. If you haven't made the avo mayonnaise yet, that's okay. Go get yourself 2 small or 1 large soft ripe avocado. You're going to cut it in half, de-seed it. You're going to put the flesh in the bowl, mix it up, and then you're going to add some salt and pepper. You can add some extra mayonnaise if you want it more creamy, but I just like it just plain, just extra healthy, you know, no extra mayonnaise. So that's fine. Plus, there's nothing better than the real taste of avocado. You can't tell me otherwise. Avocado is the best thing on the earth. So that's all done. So now we've probably got about 15 minutes now for our Thermomix TM5 to be finished making the rice. So I'll come back in 15 minutes, grab a coffee, take a moment, clean up if you have to, and then we'll get back to doing part 2 of doing the rice. So stay with me, we'll be back in a minute. Our rice has come out of the Thermomix, so it is in the steam pot still. So now you're going to get your bowl and you're going to put the rice, give it a shake in there. How easy is that? Now be careful because it is going to be hot. So while it is hot, you're going to get, remember the cooking sake that we did? Give it a little bit extra stir. Now you're going to pour this into the rice, just like that, okay? Get all that sugar in there. Okay, so now you're going to just give it a mix. Make sure all that rice gets covered with our little seasoning that we have done. Now, at this point, if you aren't allergic to sesame seeds or not, some are, so if you are, it is optional, you can leave it out. But if you're not and you want to make it a little bit extra fancy, and we are all about extra fancy here, so just get some black sesame seeds or your normal sesame seeds or white ones, and you can just pour some in now, and then that way, when you roll it and you cut into it, you're going to have all those cute little speckles. So it just makes it look more presentable, but it's not a necessity. You don't need them if you really don't want them in there. So that's just optional. So now we're going to let that cool down, and while this is cooling down for a moment, we are going to get our chicken and our salmon, and we're going to now cut them in strips, and then we're going to start with the rolling. So get your chicken, your salmon, your veggies, whatever it is that you're going to put, your beef, teriyaki, whatever it is, and we're going to start rolling out. So stay with me for a minute while I cut up my salmon and chicken. I hope you cut up yours too. And we'll be back in a second to go to part 3, which is the second last step. And we're going to start filling our sushis. So this is the exciting bit, so get ready. Okay guys, so I have got my chicken tenders out of the oven. I like mine to be a little bit extra crispy because I love that crispy chicken texture. And then I've also cut my salmon and washed it and cut it into strips. So that is ready. Now, you're going to need to get, before we start the rolling, just a little bit of warm water because we're going to need that with our fingers or a brush at the end. I'll show you how when we're actually rolling them. And that's what's going to actually seal our nori seaweed at the end to give us that roll. You need some water. So go get some water if you haven't already, some warm water. And now we are going to start rolling. So you want to go shiny side down. You're going to have 2 sides to your seaweed, a rough side and a shiny side. We want the shiny side to be rolled for the outside. So put the shiny side down on your chopping board. Now, we're going to get our cooled down rice. It's not 100% cooled down. As you can tell, it's still steaming, but it's cooled down enough now that we can actually start rolling. So I'm going to get some, and it is going to be sticky, hence why we said earlier, cloth. It's going to be your best friend. Now, sushi is messy, so if you make a mess, don't worry about it. As we say, making memories, aren't we, in the kitchen? So it doesn't matter. The kids can help as well with rice that's a bit more cooled down. They can help roll out as well. But definitely an adult has to be there because it is tricky. It is tricky, but you are going to be a pro soon. And as I said earlier in the earlier bit of this video, if you don't get it right the first time, it's okay. It's all right. Just keep replaying this video until you do get it right. There is no real right or wrong way. As long as it rolls up, you're good. And then the more practice you get, the more of a pro you're going to be. And the more you're going to want to do your own fillings or think about what kind of fillings you can put next. So it's all a bit of fun. This is all about fun in the kitchen and doing things outside our normal comfort zones, and definitely wowing our dinner guests or just the kids when you pack their lunches and they go, wow, Mum, that was so cool that I took sushi to school today. I loved it. Instead of a sandwich, because I know my little boy, Jordan, as you know from my previous videos, if you haven't already, check out some of our videos in our library. He is a cook and a baker as well. He's a kinder at the moment, so he can't actually be here for this video. But he likes when I put things like this into his lunchbox. It's just a bit of fun. He's more into the chicken than the fish, but hey, things change, and the more good we get at this, the more interesting hopefully their lunchboxes become. So let's keep that mummy magic going. So I've now flattened the rice on my nori roll. Now I've just put a little dollop of the avocado mayonnaise that we made. So I'm just going to roll that like that and spread it all over. I'm going to get a little bit of salt and pepper, just a little bit. You can leave the pepper out if the little ones don't like, too much pepper. And then we're going to do our veggies and our chicken. So we'll do the chicken ones first, I think. So let's get a piece of carrot. Okay, and then another piece like that. So hopefully you've done this already. And then we're going to get a little bit of cucumber and put that there as well. Now, the most important thing I have to tell you is when you are rolling out your sushis is to do it near the end, because when we roll it, you need to have the filling at the start of your roll, not in the middle or at the end. So you need to have it at the start, and then you're also going to leave a bit of a gap here because that's where we're going to wet our seaweed after and roll it so it stays flat. So you need that bit of space, okay? If you didn't do that right, just rewind this bit and then you can do it again, okay? So now we've done that, I'm gonna put some chicken. If you find it a bit long, the strips, just break them apart, okay? So now I've done that, I'm going to roll it. So I'm gonna hold on to my filling and the seaweed. Hold our breath. So now we're rolling it as tight as we can without breaking it. And we're rolling it. Now I'm going to get my finger and I'm going to wet the end of the seaweed sheet. That's why we needed that space. And then I'm just going to hold firmly, press down and roll. Okay. Now I'm going to leave that for a minute just so that the seaweed sticks to the other bit of the seaweed. Like that. Give it a bit of a roll. Okay. And that is your first seaweed concoction of sushi done. So now what I'm going to do is I've got a container here. So I'm putting mine into a container. So make sure you don't have to have a container, just make sure you have something like a plate or something. So that's what I've got. And then we're going to do another one. We're going to do, again, shiny side down. See, look at you go, already a pro. We're going to get more rice. We'll do a salmon one this time. So just press down like that. Okay, we just keep going. I think this is the hardest bit, just getting that rice around. There we go, like so. And what's so good is as well is that if you have an airtight container like me, you can have sushi in the fridge for at least 3 to 4 days. And, you know, you've got fresh, delicious sushi whenever you want, which is awesome. I know in my house it's a staple. I'm always cooking up different types of sushi, especially for my hubby and Jordan. They both like the chicken. So I do a lot of crab as well. I find that the California roll crab one is really nice too. That's just normal crab sticks you can buy from Woolworths or Coles, and you can put them in it as well. If you are a pro at sushi as well and you're just watching this video, why don't you comment down below and tell me what kind of sushi you like to make, or in your household or your bento lunchboxes, what's your favorite combinations? Let me know in the comments. So, a bit more of that avo. Again, you could just use a white mayonnaise or an egg mayonnaise if you wanted to as well. That tastes really good in it as well. So now we're going to get a beautiful piece of salmon. We're going to put that like so. Just get a nice bit. Wipe our hands. Then we're going to get some carrot. Snap a bit off so that it fits. You'll find that you will snap a bit here and there off just to make sure that it all fits, which is totally fine. Okay, like so. And then I'm just going to add a bit of salt and pepper. Again, optional. So like that. And then we're going to roll it again. Don't be afraid. Remember, hold and roll. Like so, okay? Make sure it's all tucked away in there. Just like that. All right, then we're going to wet our hands with our water, pat down on our nori, and roll. There we go. Give it a moment to stick. Little bit of a roll there. All right, and there's your salmon one. And so now we're going to put that next to the chicken in our container. So you do that as well. And we're just going to continue going. So I'm going to roll out a few more of these and then we'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so you should have now something that looks like this. Oh, we have salmon and chicken sushis. Now, if they don't look like this the first time, that's okay. It does take a little while just to get used to the rolling. What we're going to do now is I'm going to put these into the fridge for an hour because sushis do need to set. So we're going to put these for an hour in the fridge, and then we're going to bring them out and we're going to cut them up, and I'm going to show you what they look like inside and what you can serve them with. So I think you've earned a coffee, a cup of tea, a green juice, a pat on the back, because go mummy, go you. Let's almost finish this off. Let's wait 1 hour. I know it's a long time, I know, because you want to see what they look like when you cut into them, but let's just wait an hour in the fridge and we'll get to it in a second. Okay guys, so the hour is up. Are you excited? I know I am very excited. So get a wet knife, not a serrated knife. You just want like a steak knife, or just a knife that has a flat surface, which is sharp, okay? Because if you used a serrated one, it's just going to make a mess of your sushi, and we don't want that. It's going to go to pieces. So wet knife, and you're just going to cut. So I've done this earlier. Now we're going to discard the ends. So don't worry about the ends. You can eat them, throw them out. It does not matter. So we're going to get our knife and just think of it by mind, like how chunky you want them. The thinner you go, the harder they are to cut. So just a nice sort of size in your mind, and then pursue. So here you go, and you should have something, drum roll, that looks like this. So that's what you should have. So we're going to pop that on the plate. Again, if you find that they stick after a while, just add a little bit more water to your knife. So we're just going to cut these up like so. That, and then I'm going to get the corner and hold on to the end filling so it doesn't splurt everywhere, and just hope for the best. All right, good. So then that is done, and then we're just going to plate them up nice and pretty like that. So that's what you should have. So I'm hoping you have the same. So now I'm going to pop that to the side there. Now, as I said earlier, what can you serve these with? Well, really, it is endless. But my most favorite thing to serve sushi with is pickled ginger. You can get this from Coles, Woolworths, any Asian grocery shop. So we're just going to get a nice bit of pickled ginger. I can already smell it. It smells so good. We're going to pop that in the middle of our sushi. And then I'm going to get, if you dare, wasabi. I am a massive wasabi fan. Anything hot and spicy I love, which is also from any Asian grocer, Woolworths or Coles. And then I'm just going to put a little bit on the side, and then people can help themselves. Now, obviously as well, you can use soy sauce. You can also get gluten-free soy sauce as well to add as well. If you like soy sauce, you can even add hot chili or a sweet chili. You can use anything you want. So that is my concoction of sushi. So this is the chicken one. So I'm going to cut another one up in a minute and have it ready for my little man when he gets home, and my husband tonight. I hope yours looks like this. If it doesn't, as I said, please don't worry about it. Just go back and have another go. It's going to take you a few turns before you get it right. That's okay. If you got it right first time, way to go. You're a natural sushi maker. And I hope you like and subscribe to this channel just so that it helps us out, and you can also see more tips and interesting things from us. And come on, we just made sushi together. So I hope you enjoy. I hope to see some bento box creations from you mamas and daddas out there. And enjoy your sushi. You're a natural, and it's time to wow your guests. Have a good day, guys. See you later.